figured out who they were. It took a little bit longer than they wanted, but they have done that at the perfect time.
They certainly have. These two teams see each other in the summer league that we run as well. And even though Coach Lagasse said, "Oh, we don't know what we got," I'll tell you, Coach Rodney thinks he's playing a little cat and mouse. He knows that. He always brings back some quality stars. Losing a guy like Perez is tough, but they always seem to bring it together, and one of the best head coaches you've got in Nassau County soccer there. And
two of the guys they do bring back, we'll show you, are players to watch for Lawrence. On the left, a year ago, Corvin Pokasangre was your prototypical number 10. Now he's your prototypical striker wearing the number 10 jersey. 15 goals, 4 assists, incredible stuff from Pokasangre. And then in the middle of the park, defensively, at least, you've got an outstanding player in the back with Jason Aravallo. He's just a sophomore, but having a great year as part of a 3-back tandem for Lawrence.
And when you trust a guy like Aravallo as a sophomore, it shows you in such high regard that they have him, and he has been great. And then when you've got one of the best goal scorers, again, we've seen some potent goal scorers in this single A, so a lot to deal with up top as well.
On the other side, Floral Park, they come into this one in familiar territory, the number 1 seed, 13-1-3 on the year. And they, too, also, every team graduates. You're not going to be the exact same team year after year. So Akil Rodney graduated some key guys as well. And they had that different sort of a mindset or what they had to deal with this year because they were the defending champions, right? So how do you sort of navigate that? Well, obviously, at 13-1-3, they've done a really good job of navigating those waters.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, they graduated Mike Donovan, his little younger brother playing on the team. They graduated Ned Devine, one of the best goal scorers in the county last year. And he said, these boys are going to come in understanding the state champions, but a different identity. We're not going to be this hype. It's going to be more of a team. Not that they weren't before, but the collective is so important to him.
And two guys that the Knights will rely on here this afternoon. Up top, when we did their regular season game against Mineola, David O'Shea was out with an ankle injury. He is back, and now they're a more complete team with him back. The one guy who has been there, who hasn't gone anywhere, is Charlie McCarron, just that anchor of a center back.
Yeah, you said it. O'Shea showing up, 6 goals. Again, not a super high-powered offense, but a stellar defense. He's the guy that can get it done on that end. And McCarron, one of my favorite players from the playoffs last year, just strong as an ox and hard to battle on any ball, 50-50s or on the ground.
Let's meet the starters for both of these teams now. First for Lawrence and the Golden Tornadoes. They will operate this year, or they have operated out of this 3-5-2 formation. So your 3 center backs, Aravallo, we mentioned, Luna and Martinez. Your left wing back is Perard. Your right wing back is Ortega. Andrew Rosales is the number 6. You got Molina at the center midfield position. There was a question about the number 10 because of a suspension to Jeremy Cruz for 2 yellow cards in the quarterfinals. So Diego Hinojosa will take that position up front. Garcia Lopez and Pokasangre, as we mentioned. And a guy, too, listen, with so much change, it's nice to have a returning starting goalkeeper, especially one of Gabe Rosales' ability. There you see the 3-year starting goalkeeper, Gabo, they call him, really athletic, has done a very good job as that leader of the back.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's vocal, .882 save percentage. I got to see him in a scrimmage right before the playoffs began. He's mobile. He works really well laterally. He's got speed. Rosales is a great shot stopper.
Head coach for Lawrence in his 3rd season, Gerard Lagasse. Once upon a time, played over at St. Mary's, a 1992 graduate, went on and played at Hartwick, where he broke the hearts of a lot of St. John's Red Storm fans with the winning goal in the 1995 NCAA tournament first round.
Yeah, good buddy of mine, and he took over for Pat Leary, one of the classiest guys on the pitch.
Let's meet the starters now for Floral Park. They are in a 4-5-1 formation. Your back 4 of Dashi, Lally, McCarron, and Marrero. In the middle of the park, Black, Kroon, and Amirati. Left midfielder, you've got Donovan. You've got Cherry at the right midfield. He's the guy who was playing up top when O'Shea was injured. Now O'Shea back up front. And in goal for Floral Park, it is Zach Sarcona. The senior a year ago had to back up Oscar Dalton, but he's the guy in the net and has done an excellent job in his first year as the starter.
And Coach Rodney very confident with him coming in this year. He said Zach's ready to roll, and you can see there are 84 saves and .917 save percentage, and he earned every one of them. He was in a league where he saw some shots. Great job by Zach.
And the head coach of Floral Park in his 6th season, there you see Akil Rodney, 2009 graduate of Elmont, where he was a former high school All-American. How about 74 goals and 52 assists? Went on and played high level at the University of Virginia, helping the Cavaliers to the 2009 title. Worked his way to this point, right? Sewanaka assistant for a year, was an Elmont assistant, SUNY Old Westbury as well. And now it is his job to have. Let's take a quick look at our keys to this one, Rob Anderson.
Yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. As far as Lawrence, just like Olivia Newton-John, let's get physical. They got to keep it physical out there. Put away all the chances that they get. They know that it's not easy to score against Floral Park. Get them done. Impose their will on the game. Their style can dominate this if they find space. For Floral Park, put away our chances. Same thing, right? Make sure we finish. Stay disciplined on the defensive side because Lawrence can bang them in if they get space. Impose our will on the game. What, these guys just compare notes and put them together? So they're both going to have to impose their will, and Floral Park certainly one of those teams, lunch pail, that imposes their will.
So it is Lawrence and it is Floral Park. Round 3. Opening kickoff when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job in exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media has been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email ben@varsitymedia.net.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face-on, stay-on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
Back here at Farmingdale State College. Dylan Butler and Rob Anderson. Our entire Varsity Media crew for what should be an outstanding semifinal between Floral Park and Lawrence. Our officials for today's game in the middle, Steve Padditz. Your assistant referee, Jerry Armingau, Frank Vizone, and your fourth official, Jim Best. Beautiful weather conditions here this afternoon. You see not really much of a wind, right? 56 degrees. The sun is shining. Kind of a perfect fall afternoon here at Farmingdale State College.
Yeah, we've gotten away with it, even on those cold, chilly evenings that we've had no wind, and we know that that can kick up a gale here in Farmingdale. So absolutely stellar conditions. People in the fans, the crowd are happy, and then obviously the players and coaches ready to rock and roll. And the benches won't have to huddle, Dylan, like the other night. Everybody looked like they were getting as close as they possibly can. You think Sweeney was directing them closer, closer.
And you see the final huddle there for Lawrence, and again, it's a season again where maybe it was unlike the other two seasons or the previous two seasons for them, but they somehow find themselves back in the same position for the decisive round 3. And really, Lagasse said, especially that win against Mineola, 1-0. They upset the number 3 seed Mineola on the road. Said that game was probably the best that we've played all season. He said not even a probably, it was. He said right now we're ascending, which is, again, that's exactly what you want or where you want to be at this point of the season.
Yeah, they're on a roll for sure. And the other thing, I mentioned it, that South Shore Summer League, they played each other 3-4 times. So two of 8 teams down there, they're very familiar with one another.
And Floral Park, their final huddle. You know, they have both been here on this stage. But again, Floral Park victorious last year, going on, winning the state championship. And then Akil Rodney said, all right, well, listen, that's great that we've done that. But now how do we attack this season with that bullseye? And certainly they've navigated those waters. They've done an excellent job winning 13 games, tying 3, and only losing 1 this year. It is going to be a contrast of styles, and that's usually what makes great fights, right? On the one side, Floral Park, that blue-collar, lunch pail athleticism, a lot of direct soccer from them. And Lawrence, they want to put the ball on the ground. They want to possess. They want to get touches. So those are the games that usually are the most fun to watch when you've got 2 different styles at play. Opening kickoff, it's Floral Park attacking left to right on your screen.
You mentioned the bullseye, and you know the head coach there, Coach Rodney, he embraces the bullseye. So he tries to give that to his team, too. Enjoy it. The only reason why it's on you is because you're that good.
So as a player, won a national championship in soccer, in Division I soccer with UVA, and now he's got a state championship ring as well as a head coach. Ball served in, and now it'd be a foot race. Good defending for Floral Park. It will go out, though, for a Lawrence throw. That was Danny Marrero tracking that one down.
Jason Aravallo on the ball.
There's Aravallo. His cousin a year ago was the starting left back for Lawrence, Joseph Gonzalez.
Throw into Lawrence. Aravallo on the ball.
And Aravallo, the sophomore, plays similar to Gonzalez, but Jason a little bit bigger, a little more physical. He's a technical center back. That's a great throw into the mix, headed to the edge of the 18 and out. And now Floral Park will look to push their numbers forward.
Good action so far going back and forth, and you can see both of these teams anticipating the ball and moving towards it. Going to be some good 50-50 battles out here.
And some of our matchups that we've had these last couple of days, we've had like 2 technical teams against each other, and this one is where it is that contrast of styles. And that's to that point, right? Just a long ball over the top. playing the feet, spinning and grabbing it. Gabo Rosales.
And that goes back to that athleticism that his coach said he's got. Really nice job there to control the ball, pick it up, and distribute.
Yeah, he's got that experience. You know, and when you look at the back three, at least the three center backs in front of Rosales, all of those guys really didn't start a year ago. Like you have a Nelson Martinez, who was a bench player, and Anthony Luna, he's in his first year playing with Lawrence, and Aravalo, he's a sophomore. So that's where a guy like Rosales is so instrumental. Ball on the carpet, far sideline. Little dance on it. It'll go out for a Lawrence throw.
Well, all of those guys with some tough shoes to fill, and when you got a guy like Luna, 6'2", back there, certainly helps the cause to defend off of the set pieces.
Ball thrown in, flicked on, and then good job by Sarcona to grab, as it was Garcia Lopez who got his head on it. Harold Garcia Lopez, senior, another one of these first-time Lawrence soccer players. Lagasse noticed him in the spring intramurals that he runs. Heavy first touch. This time Rosales, the size to stay on his line. He knew better than us because that ball went over the end line for a goal kick. But back to Garcia Lopez, you know, that intramural program run to kind of see, right? All right, who do I got? Who's some potential here? And Garcia Lopez, he's a lefty, really good on the ball, immediately jumped off the page for Lagasse, and lo and behold now he's starting in a county semifinal. A race for it down that far side. That was Joe Donovan, dispossessed.
Mentioned Joe's older brother, Michael, part of that state champion team, you know, one of the captain on the team. You also have Damian Cherry out there. He's wearing number 11. His older brother, Michael, was a captain as well as center back. And two high-impact players, and now their siblings part of this team.
Nice turn on the ball, but a double. Good stuff right there by Lawrence just to get out of traffic. Sunday traffic could sometimes be difficult, right?
And lots of traffic. They are certainly getting together there. Floral Park really playing solid flat. They'll get together and tough to get through. 4 solid, sometimes 5 dropping in.
Marrero sends it to midfield. Ball put back into the mix by Black. And now the first foray into the attacking third for Floral Park. Good service. It falls right through. Trying to track it down was Donovan. That was Danny Marrero, junior captain, which speaks volumes with so many seniors who were a big part of last year's championship run.
Without a doubt, and it is a testament. And, you know, also on the other side, you got some of the youth. You mentioned Black. Black was just a freshman that they brought up last year for the States, and now as a sophomore, he's starting in the middle. And I think he got a few minutes, if I recall correctly, during the States. I feel like I remember him out there. But another impact player, youth, young, sophomore. Good to see. So you got the veterans and you got the youth movement as well.
Here's Aravalo to put the ball back in the play. These teams did not meet in the regular season, as here comes Cherry up the sideline. Lays it off. And now Floral Park. This is the part that I think we need to mention. They can play, right? Like, it's not just kick and run or athleticism. Like, they could put it down and play as well, as they're showing some of those traits right now.
What shows you, again, how good they're coached and the buy-in. You saw Cherry get it to O'Shea, and then Cherry overlap O'Shea, and then they set up a triangle for the pass. Very well coached and can get technical as a result.
Shot by Ammirati, deflected in, and Rosales able to win it. We're seeing some of the guys from Friends making their way into the crowd here to do some live scouting. They're going to watch this shot go on frame as Sarcona makes the save. And that again was Garcia Lopez. Back to Friends guys taking up real estate right in front of our booth.
There you go, trying to get some time on the TV maybe.
Well, they had a lot of time.
They had plenty of time. Fair enough.
Throwing for Lawrence.
Lawrence throw. Aravallo to take.
In the quarterfinals, a 1-0 win for Lawrence over number 3 seeded Mineola. It was Jorge Ortega who found Poca Sangre, who got the finish in the 63rd minute.
And that was a battle. That's why you don't sleep on the 6 seed. You know, it's just a number. You get in there. And they went up against a Mineola team that was fantastic this year. Another strong team. They look a lot like Floral Park. They play a similar game. And a huge win for Lawrence.
We've already seen a 6 seed make the final, right, with Herrick's?
Yeah.
That's a 4 and 6 seed in the AAA.
Floral Park throw.
Yeah, 4 and 6 in the AAA. You got the 1-2 in the Bs.
That's the only one to this point that's
holding.
Been chalk, yeah.
With the throw for Floral Park.
And that was a battle. Carl Place just edging it out, double OT.
Marrero finds Cherry's feet. Love those long legs and those recovery strides from Cherry. Here's Poca Sangre. I asked the question of Lagasse, right, with your number 10 and Jeremy Cruz suspended, what do you do? And he wasn't sure. And I said, well, Poca Sangre played there last year. Is it true? And he was great as a number 10, but look at what he's doing as a number 9 this year with 15 goals. He doesn't want to, you know, it's like you when you have to make a change, you don't want to impact multiple spots on the field, right? You'd rather like for like. Didn't necessarily have a like for like. Did go with Hinojosa. Get to that in a moment as good defending by Luna. And he pushes it ahead to Kevin Molina. But with Hinojosa, number 6, he's a guy he's a sophomore, super technical, not physical, and that was the concern against a physical Floral Park team. But also a guy who sometimes takes 1 or 2 extra touches on the ball, which, he doesn't want. He wants those 1-2 touch and release and play and combine.
It's a tough decision as a coach. I mean, you feel like when you lose a guy like that, you do have to move parts, but I like his attitude. You want to keep guys where they are. And my take from him, I called him after the game to congratulate him, and he told me about the card. He takes things in stride, and that's another thing as a coach. He's just like, yeah, he got the double yellow. We're going to have to make things work. And so.
But that, too, has been the story for them this year. They don't even have a home field.
Yeah, that's
right. They practice on a field of like crabgrass, right? Like nothing is given to these guys, right? They've had to earn everything.
And we're not going to get into that conversation, but the fact that their field is condemned is a whole nother story. So hopefully, eventually, they'll get what they deserve out there. But
yeah, they've had to go to a neighboring middle school to play, and like I said, the practices, but. Those kind of situations, you know what it does, honestly, to a team like this at this point of the year? It hardens them.
Yeah.
Like, listen, we've dealt with adversity all year long.
And, I've seen the same situations break teams. So, again, that comes back to the leader, saying we're not getting all these things, but we have each other, and we got the talent. We're going to move. So, kudos to this whole Lawrence team. And we're pulling for you to get that new field out there.
It's a team, too, of, multiple nationalities, right? Salvadoran, Colombian. They have all melded in together, and they've played the beautiful game. Ball over the top. First touch, a good one, and here is Aravallo. Puts it up in the air. Looking to find Poca Sangre. And you feel like in general, right? Balls in the air, advantage Floral Park. Let me go to the far sideline now for Donovan. Donovan looks for options, speeds towards that corner flag. Takes a deflection, shot in the box. What a save by Rosales.
Gabriel Rosales.
Got that paw up quick.
And had opportunities there, decides to take the shot, gets that blast, and boom, one-handed. My goodness, that's the reflexes right there. Good job by Gabriel Rosales.
With the throw for Floral Park.
That's how quickly this game changes, right? From nothing going on, all of a sudden, what a chance. Here's McCarron to throw. Plays to Donovan's feet, cleared out. We'll have our first corner of the game. Goes to Floral Park.
Corner kick for Floral Park.
Going over to take it, Amirati. Captain, all-conference player a year ago. He started as a right back as a sophomore. He started as a left back as a junior. Amirati, good service near post. Cleared up in the air. Pokasangre tries to win the head ball and goes backwards to Lally. Here's Kroon. His shot deflected. Rosales has to come off his line to corral, which he does.
Again, my assessment, Amirati. Amirati is one of the top players in the A's. 14 goals this year. Last year, I saw him as like a pest. He was a complement player to a guy like Ned Devine. Got the ball up the field, was a nuisance offensively. And then you graduate, Ned. Amirati stepped right in. 14 goals on the season. Absolutely incredible.
And even before that, he showed his ability to impact big games, right? He had the winning assist in both the state semifinal and the state final as well.
Yeah, and again, just a pest. He's a hard worker, grinder, and now he's a finisher. Really great to see that arc.
Last year was a 2-0 win for Floral Park over Lawrence to win the Nassau A title. They went on to beat John Glenn by that same scoreline, and also 2-0 to Chalmont to win their first state championship.
Really fun run for them, and I'll tell you, they were the toast of the town in Floral Park. Parades, fire departments coming out, and rings. They got team rings. Quite the accomplishment for that Floral Park team, and looking to do it again with some of the same faces and some new ones and some siblings. And the same two guys at the helm.
Floral Park throw.
I don't know if you saw Chris McKee, the assistant coach, warming up. He still got some leg. He was getting some nice shots out there.
Listen, between these coaches here, right? You've got an all-American in Rodney, and if it wasn't for that back injury, you know, probably would have had a terrific MLS career. And then Lagasse knows how to score winners in his day.
Throw into Floral Park.
Here's Marrero. Looking for Cherry, off the chest, off the head, turns into space. Amirati plays to him. Heavy first touch, but because of that clearance by Luna, it's a second corner for Floral Park.
It is. Looked like O'Shea might have been able to create some separation, but in comes Luna, and another corner kick for Floral. We'll get a look at it here. And almost out to O'Shea. It's a good clear. I'll take that corner all day.
And here is that corner. Far post. It's still loose. 50-50 ball. Push back. Pokasangre off his chest. And Lawrence looks to clear. And now they might have some numbers as Pokasangre runs into space. Can he get the ball back? And just missed that connection. He started that whole play, playing it out wide, and then I just continued to watch his run, Rob, just attack that channel hard, but the return pass was just a little bit off.
Not too far off, and we saw that in the first game with Friends Academy, just a couple of things that were off. Eventually they connect, and when they do, good things happen.
McCarron to put the ball back in the mix. He and Lally, both seniors, both returning starters at center back. Rosales off his line. Kroon turns, just plays into space to no one in particular. Rosales corrals. I was so impressed with him a year ago. And he too, playing his best soccer, said, Lagasse said he had the game of his life against Mineola. Made some great saves, owned the box. Just a freak athlete. He's a year older, better. The focus is more there. The work with him coming into this year was maybe being more aggressive, coming off his line, and he has done that. Here's McCarron to throw. Spins it. Headed clear by Luna. Second ball. Pokasangre comes back to get it. Takes a touch. And look out, Steve Padditz. It'll be a drop ball for Lawrence.
Steve's all smiles over there. He's got the ball set up. That's also the rules interpreter for Nassau County Soccer.
Well, he interpreted that role perfectly.
He did.
Aravalo dispossessed by Cherry. And now Cherry gets those long legs moving as Floral Park looks for a counter. Goes far side. Good recovery by Lawrence there. Send it up towards the midfield. Dashi, the sophomore who was on JV last year. He's now the starting left back. Ball goes into the middle of the park, and here is Pokasangre. Turns and feeds far side. Now that pass was off, but one thing that you love, right, when now you've got a guy who can score goals, who has that forward mentality, but in his back pocket, that playmaking ability as well. So if you need him to drop back into the midfield to get some touches, he can also spray balls around.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. He's good at checking in, falling back. It's definitely a whole different look than your typical striker up top. I also impressed both teams playing the width of the field. Floral Park every time opening up really well. Yeah, see, you can see taking off.
There is Kroon, 2-year starter and a captain. That engine of the midfield for Floral Park. Foul called against James Black.
The other guy I was just keeping an eye on there is the sophomore. Again, sophomore, Liam Quinn, wearing number 5. He was trying to open up some space. They're doing a really nice job when they're bringing the ball up the field, just extending it, extending the width. And you got to do that against a Lawrence defense that can really lock down. Open them up a little bit, spread them out, try to create space in the box.
So go out for a goal kick for Floral Park. 13-1-3 on the season. We mentioned 43 goals for and just 13 against. On the other side, Lawrence, their goals scored, not as much as Floral Park. They've scored 24 on the year, but they've only conceded one more goal than Floral Park has all year. So maybe to your point, you know, playing some cat and mouse games, Lagasse, because they've been really solid in a very difficult conference this year.
I won't tell you Coach Rodney's exact words, but he didn't believe a word. He's like, I love Gerard, but I don't believe him. And you see, like I said, again, the familiarity, having this summer league, doing the non-leagues, playing each other. Everybody's getting to know each other well on and off the field.
A great deal of respect between these two programs. Ball on the turf by that far corner flag. A great job by Quinn there to earn another corner.
Corner kick for Floral Park.
Liam Quinn, sophomore, skillful with both feet. He could shoot from distance. As it's Amirati again. Maybe look for Kroon, maybe McCarron here. Kroon's at the back post, going towards his way, an Olympico! Or no, looks like it's McCarron who's celebrating the goal. And it's 1-0 for Floral Park.
And it is Charlie. And you can see that ball gets put up. It goes deep, far post. And Charlie McCarron tucking it in. Follows it through with his body as well. What a header there by Charlie McCarron. 1-0 Knights.
And I thought that was played in so well by Amirati. I thought initially that was an Olympico because he played it back post. I'm not even sure McCarron needed to get a head on it, but he just wanted to make sure he did. And lo and behold, the guy that we feature as the defensive impact player of the game, McCarron, scores the goal, the earliest that we've seen in a few games here at Farmingdale State College. Goal number 2 on the year.
And now we'll see how Lawrence responds. This is a big, big opportunity for them. They've got to make sure that they start to continue to play their game. They got to get more shots on net. But you don't want to give Floral Park any kind of confidence any more than they've got.
Marrero with the ball.
There's Marrero, goes up the sideline. Gets the return ball, serves it in. The first header. Oh, and a little volley. Rosales, no problem. You like the decision there by Amirati. And I'm looking at the field now. We've got our 2 of our impact players matching up 1v1. McCarron eyeballing Pocasangre.
Yeah, you've mentioned a few times there's always those little internal battles within the larger context of things, and that's going to be one to keep an eye on.
Free kick for Floral Park. McCarron to take it. Got players jockeying at the edge of the 18. And again, maybe Kroon could be the guy. Looks like he's unmarked right now. Well, now a defender is coming his way. Here's the ball served in. 2 defenders, shot over the bar.
Well, little bit of breathing room for Floral Park. It feels like, every game we're staring at zeros up on the board. This one, an early tally as far as these games have gone for Floral Park.
Checks in for Floral Park. We have a Lawrence goal kick.
Pocasangre flicks his header. Got a little push in the back by McCarron, so free kick for Lawrence. And this is an important final 15 of the first half for Lawrence. It's not, you don't have to, push numbers up. It's not the final 15 of the match, but you love to get one back, go into halftime equal. But you certainly cannot concede another. Luna serves it in. Great header won by McCarron. Who else?
I was going to say, he's come to play today, El Capitan. Both ends of the ball right now and just asserting himself, getting those 50-50s. He's been dominant in the air.
There's Rosales to midfield. Nice ball won by Dashi. Nice turn into space. Now maybe something here into the box. A great job by Sarcona to slide off his line and corral. You see the other look here, Rob, is pushing numbers forward. The service comes into the box. And then just off the mark.
And a good job protecting his keeper back there. Good defensive play shielding out so that Sarcona had some space to navigate the turf and get that ball.
You talk about being a pest. How about the job that Liam Quinn has done, right? Coming off the bench. He's just now won another corner for Floral Park.
Yeah, he's a bit of a menace down there, just a sophomore, and, you know, you could see he's smaller in stature compared to the rest of the guys out there, but maybe the new role, the new Emirati role, be a pest and grow into an elite goal scorer. Here it is again. You can watch him just chase it down, and boom. Good job.
And that was one there where Nelson Martinez thought, all right, I'll just shepherd the ball out. There's no one on my back, and then here he comes in, just continuing his run and winning the corner. They're going to add some time here to the clock. That'll be 13:42 on the clock.
So just
you mentioned it yesterday, right, with the officials. You've got a fourth official on the sideline. They're all in communication with the headsets, communication with the booth as well.
And they just find the right spots to say, let's just catch everything up so the fans and the teams are all on the same page. The official time, folks, on the field, and we just do our best to keep up here. So resetting at 13:42. And we get a look at Jim Best. There's the number 4 official, Jerry Aragamo.
So the clock has been set. So now we are set for this dangerous corner. Last one, it was McCarron at the back stick. Emirati beautifully played in. This time he goes near post. With deflection, though, went off a Floral Park player. But every single corner is incredibly dangerous by Emirati.
And you could bet that that's going to be in the game notes for the halftime conversation with Lawrence. Let's do our best to try to keep that ball on the field or at least turn it into a throw-in because the corner is causing some trouble.
And if Edgar Posada's here as well, I know his guys are still here. He's maybe putting that in his notebook as well.
I was looking for him. I'm sure he's out there somewhere. I tried before.
Putting down number 6 corner, dangerous. Pocasangre. There's Jorge Ortega, the starting right wing back. This is a guy who will play 80 minutes and not feel tired. Meanwhile, you and I will call 80 minutes and we'll be exhausted. So well done by Ortega. Ooh, dangerous. Pocasangre gets it, serves it across the box. Great clearance by Dashi. And then Kroon cleans it up.
Throw in Lawrence.
Kroon, another guy, right? He's the number 8, right? But he has the number 6 instincts as well. Great to have him in the middle of the park. Look out, dangerous one here. As the ball bounces, that's Javier Chicas Linares.
Good job by Floral Park at least to recognize and recover that. It could have been very dangerous as McCarron got airborne and kind of lost sight of it.
Yeah, look at Cherry, man. All over Jorge Ortega. Now Ortega will try it again. Cherry on his back. Ortega releases, sends a dangerous ball to that far post. Second ball cleared away by Floral Park. Not out yet, though. Headed clearance up to the edge of the 18, and now Cherry puts it towards midfield. Some physicality in the middle of the park. Nice touch, and now can Lawrence attack the space. Played on the ground. Pocasangre. How about that vision, right? I didn't see that play. He did. But Joe Donovan having none of it.
Talk about the battles inside the battles. I mean, Ortega and Cherry, another one to watch out. Ortega did get the better of that and get the cross off, but Cherry's just giving him nothing. And you can see with Ortega, the way that he was holding on to that ball and possessing with his back towards the defender. You run that in practice repeatedly. Guys get exhausted doing it. But Ortega, good job using his body and at least trying to get that ball across.
Sam Ammirati checks back into the game for Floral Park.
Here's Donovan. Dispossessed, but it will be a Floral Park throw as we're approaching the final 10 minutes of the first half. A Charlie McCarron headed goal off a sublime corner by Sam Ammirati. The difference right now. Long throw, headed, still loose, danger moments. Rosales stays on his line and nearly paid for that as that shot went over the bar.
A lot of physicality down there as that ball entered the 6. And you're right, Rosales hanging back a little bit and then that ball airborne, but a lot going on. And that's something Floral Park will do too. They're going to get down there, they're going to congest things, they're going to get on your nerves. Create, create, create every which way, which is why they're so dangerous on the corner kick.
Kroon, such a great ball winner in the middle of the field. That's one of the things that makes Floral Park so difficult to play against. You've got Lally and McCarron as center backs. Then you've got Kroon in the middle of the park. You've got guys like Donovan on the outside who won't stop running and defending. We saw what Cherry does against the ball as well on this side.
You hear coaches a lot of times say, like, act like you've been there, right? They've been there. They don't have to act. Everything they're doing has this championship. The confidence is oozing off of the field from the black uniforms. It's impressive. He's got a machine down there. And you can bet the scouting isn't just Posada with this Floral Park team. You're going to have Suffolk scouting them. You're going to have people upstate thinking about them. That's the look you get, the bullseye.
Well, that's a dangerous ball. Rosales off his line, a little late to get there, though. He's in no man's land. Fortunate, though, to grab that ball.
Gabriel Rosales.
And that was one where he did come off his line, Rob, but the ball wasn't quite there yet. So he's like, I just got to stand here and hope.
And that punt dangerously close to going over the line. He's better watch that as well. Found himself a little deep, and a lot of lines back there on this field.
James Black with a great recovery. Yeah, you got some lacrosse lines as well. At least we don't have any football lines.
Thank goodness.
The only advantage I've found as an announcer with football lines is I could totally accurately say how far a free kick is from goal.
Makes the referee's job easy, too.
Yeah, that's true. Here's my 10 yards. Here's Kroon now into the box. Kroon service. Rosales saves. Oh, just missing it. And then a handball was called. So close for Floral Park for making this one 2-0. And you like your odds when you got Ammirati running after this ball.
Yeah, right in the middle, and as he followed through, the backhand knocked it, but a great save there by Rosales, and just fortunate that Ammirati couldn't settle it down.
And there's that battle that you were mentioning, McCarron and Pocasangre. This opens up space, though, for Ortega.
And look, Cherry's just chasing him down wherever he goes. It's not just the zone.
Well, Cherry's going to run for days, right? So,
but his assignment is clear. You don't have to worry about where you are. Worry about where he is. All right, entering 6 minutes remaining in the first half. And it's Floral Park.
They beat Wheatley in the quarterfinals 2-1. Wheatley was the 7 seed. Ammirati and David O'Shea scoring. Marrero had an assist. Sarcona, 7 saves. So that, too, was a 1-goal game.
Lawrence to throw.
Throw in from that far side. McCarron heads clear. He thought the ball went out of touch. It did not. McCarron right now, like, you don't give out a man of the first half award, but he has been that guy. One, for what he's done to help keep an eye on and really negate the very dangerous Corvin Pokasangre, and then scoring the lone goal on the other side.
5 minutes remain in the first half.
Good defending by Dashi.
Yeah, Lawrence still looking to find their guy. I'm sorry that they possess him really well in the midfield, Dylan. Just can't get anything really generated in the offensive zone.
I think that's part of the reason, too, why we have seen Pokasangre check deeper, right, than he's probably used to. And, again, this bears repeating how much of this is the Jeremy Cruz effect, right? Your number 10, the guy who operates in the midfield as that playmaker, picked up 2 cautions in the quarterfinal, and he's out for this match.
Yeah, it definitely bears keeping in mind throughout this thing. Again, you make adjustments. Coach Lagasse making adjustments, but you lose a guy that you're counting on all year against a defense that is stellar. They just move in lockstep.
Lawrence would love to get one back before the break. Battle for that ball. This will be a throw-in for Lawrence.
Lawrence to throw in.
So a dangerous one here. It's Rody Perard, the sophomore. He was at Lawrence. Then he went to Hewlett. Now back at Lawrence. Returned for his second semester. A guy who will run all day as well. Good step. And that was always going to be a goal kick.
Just ran out of real estate there trying to make something happen, and now Floral Park can be very deliberate with the clock, with the time. I know it's 3 minutes. You got a 1-0 lead. Composure, clock. See if you can get one more run down at the other end.
And here's Cherry now. Amirati. Nice tackle, but the ball kept back in by Kroon. A bicycle kick attempted clearance.
It's a really nice job by Nick Martinez to bust that up. Cherry found Amirati, and literally the 1 second Amirati put his head down to check the ball, Nelson Martinez came in and cleaned it out and thwarted what could have been a good scoring opportunity.
There's McCarron again.
Lawrence to throw.
Setting that ball, what is that? Millville Road almost?
Yeah.
So another throw from midfield inside the final 2 minutes. First half. It's the second of 2. McCarron turns towards his own his keeper. That was nearly dangerous because I think Sarcona was a little bit laid off his line. McCarron looking back at him now. So it ends up being a throw for Lawrence. And there's McCarron again. Now Lawrence, though, will have a corner inside the final 90 seconds of the first half. Yeah, that one goes all the way across.
Car's got to stop, and ball boys can't do anything about that one.
Yeah. We didn't get paid enough for that.
No. They've done a great job, though, so far.
Good service across the box. Clipped back in, and Kroon the headed clearance. And look at this. Numbers now for Floral Park inside the final minute. Amirati making a rampaging run to the edge of the 18. Can they get it to him? Turn, shot, wide. Good idea by David O'Shea.
Goal kick, Lawrence. We're under a minute remaining.
O'Shea, high soccer IQ. Really talented, the junior. Links up play well. crafty and clever with his movements. Again, had that ankle injury at the start of the year, which sidetracked him a little bit. Foul was called at midfield. It'll be Floral Park ball, but I don't think they'll even need to restart as the final seconds wind down in half number 1. So in this round 3, we're halfway through, and it is Floral Park with the advantage because of this moment. Sam Amirati was going to go in anyway. McCarron made sure that it did. 1-0, Floral Park over Lawrence. You're watching the Nassau Class A semifinals in the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Snap more than the ball? We've got specialists for that. Jump shot, leave your knee shot? We've got specialists for that. Face down after that face off? We've got specialists for that. Orlin and Cohen's top orthopedic team has specialized expertise and extensive training from the nation's premier programs in sports medicine, knee, shoulder, hip, spine, hand, foot, and ankle. So you can feel better, faster.
Parents, your support means everything to your athletes and to us at Varsity Media. To help us continue bringing you the best YouTube coverage of high school sports on Long Island, we invite business owners to consider a sponsorship on our broadcasts. If you own a business, consider a sponsorship for your athlete's team. It's a great way to show support, gain visibility, and keep the coverage going strong. Join us in making a difference. Contact Varsity Media today to learn more about broadcast sponsorship opportunities by emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships.
Hi, I'm Dr. Craig Levitz. I'm the Chief of Sports Medicine at Northwell Health, as well as the Chief of Sports Medicine at Orlin and Cohen Orthopedics. Here to talk to you today a little bit about injuries we see in boys soccer players. With the playoffs coming up, we're always at increased risk of injury, particularly with the weather turning. And obviously the most common injury we worry about and see in soccer athletes is ACL injuries. Most other injuries are minor and treated easily with rehab and anti-inflammatories, and people don't miss a lot of time, but soccer is well known for the dreaded ACL injury. And we thought we'd spend some time today talking about early warning signs for that, prevention, things that can suggest this just needs Motrin, ice, and you can play the next day, versus signs and symptoms to get to a doctor as soon as possible. The most common sign or symptom of an ACL injury is a pop while you're playing. Now these pops come in all makes and varieties. Some people feel a minor pop and are able to keep running, even finish parts of a game. Other people go down on the field and it's a significant injury. And then a lot of people are somewhere in between. But when a knee pops, 90% of the time it is the ACL that tears. The ACL actually just explodes, it doesn't tear, and the popping is you're hearing it exploding. In the absence of a pop, or even if you hear a pop and you think you're okay, there can be a whole host of other alternatives that it is. And it's really whether that pop occurs and how you're feeling the next day. The curveball being that even with an ACL injury, you can feel fine the next day and still tear your ACL, because the pain is from the bleeding, and you can tear it and not have much bleeding because they come in all makes and varieties of severe tears and minor tears. Generally, if there's not a lot of swelling in your knee looks like your other knee, you can run without pain, you're probably okay, and working with the trainer and taking some anti-inflammatories is fine. On the other hand, if you're having increased pain or swelling when running, that swelling is often blood, and that would be highly suggestive of an injury, and that's where you should highly consider seeking an orthopedic's attention as soon as possible. When I grew up, you had to rely on the orthopedic surgeon's hands. Now, in all of our facilities, we have an MRI readily available. Our firm belief is treating high school athletes like professional athletes. It's very rare you see someone come off the professional soccer field or football field with an injury and they haven't had an MRI the next day. It's already reported in the paper before, right after they have had their injury. We treat high school and college athletes the same way. If they get hurt, we want to be able to send them back onto the field safely and quickly. The high school season is short, it's 8 weeks. It's very easy for a doctor to say, sit out 4 weeks while we see if this is anything significant. But we would rather do an MRI right away and know exactly what is going on. So if it's not dangerous, we can get athletes back onto the field as soon as possible. Unfortunately, some people do have the dreaded ACL injury and the only treatment for that is surgery. However, with newer techniques, people are getting back quicker and earlier, and it's no longer the career-ending injury that it was when I was a child. But now, I would say 99% of our athletes are back on the field within several months playing and participating as good as they ever were. So to sum up, in the future, if you hurt your knee, A, listen for the pop. That's a sign to see the doctor right away. B, if you're able to run and there's not much swelling and everything's fine and anti-inflammatories make it better, you're probably okay. But if there's any question at all, it's very easy to get a quick MRI and know things are good and get back out there.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
Hey parents, coaches, and players, ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite VIII New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media has been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email ben@varsitymedia.net. Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
It's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves. You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
Welcome back to Farmingdale State College. Dylan Butler, Rob Anderson, our entire Varsity Media crew as we get set for half number 2 here in the second and final Nassau Class A semifinal. We know that Friends Academy has booked their spot, Rob, and right now it's Floral Park with the 1-0 lead, courtesy of that Charlie McCarron headed finish off of that really picture-perfect corner by Sam Ammirati. Black puts it up in the air.
I mean, as far as adjustments goes for Lawrence, it's just going to be we got to start cracking the offensive zone, start getting some shots on net, try to follow them up. But Floral Park's done a remarkable job defensively. For Floral Park, continue to win those 50-50s and do what you do. Not much you could say about making corrections in their game so far.
No, it's been clinical, right, to this point. Here's Cherry trying to attack. And if anything, Rob, it's, hey, let's keep our foot on the pedal. Let's get another one, and then another one, and let's put it away. Don't leave anything for chance.
Charles McCarron to throw for Floral Park.
Because this Lawrence team, you know, they're too good. You can't give their players. They might not have a ton of varsity experience, but they all have ability. There's no doubt. Good throw in, Crew in the header. Cherry, goal line clearance, another header. And that's over the bar by Ammirati.
That was an interesting sequence. A little Cirque du Soleil. Header, and just missing the net. You can see the throw in. Off the head. Cherry with the flick. Nice defensive play. Cherry says we're going back in again. Ammirati with the header. Just couldn't get it on frame, but that's exactly what you want to do. And again, that chaos that they can cause when they're down there.
Throw in for Lawrence.
Lawrence to throw.
Steve Padditz in the middle. Our official for our second game this afternoon. The scene will shift to Under the Lights tomorrow, and a little bit of a scheduling change in that we've got not a doubleheader, but single games each night in Class AA. So tomorrow night we'll have Long Beach and Garden City at 7. And then on Tuesday evening we'll have Southside and Calhoun.
That'll wrap up the semifinals on Tuesday. A break on Wednesday, and then back in action for some finals.
Good interception. And just that long clearance. It has to be played. And there is Anthony Luna in the middle. Again, 3 back. It's a 3-5-2 setup for Lawrence, which is a little bit different than what we've seen from them previously. And then again, that was part of what Gerard Lagasse said, Rob, about trying to figure out who we are and what we are. So they settled in on the 3-5-2, a different look this year, and the 3 center backs. You've got the wing backs. Good win by Poca Sangre. Plays it to Ortega. He is one of those wing backs. Nice slide tackle by McCarron. Now here is Poca Sangre, blocked by Black. They are giving no inch, right? Nothing is given here for Floral Park. No free passes. Everything is challenged.
And there it is, that hard challenge. A nice defensive play. And again, how you play a soccer ball on the ground.
Look at this. The ball sat at the corner flag for it seemed like 10 seconds. And it became a game of cat and mouse.
Yes, I'm not touching.
You look at this. No, I'm gonna. You want it? You want it? Here. No, you can have it.
Throwing Floral Park.
Caden Singh getting the better end of that one.
And here's McCarron. Trying to get it to Kroon. How about to have that kind of size and technical ability in the middle of the park, right, with Kroon? There he is. Got the flick on. Ball up in the air. This is advantage, though, Floral Park. And Marotti chases it down. Goes to the far side, and again, Cherry so incredibly quick. Ball served into the box and cleared, but not out as Floral Park continues. Marotti. He's a guy, Rob, we've seen his ability. He's one of those guys who has the green light to do just that.
Yeah, he certainly does. He can get it done any which way. He can shoot from outside. He can get inside the box and get a little filthy with things, and we've seen the corner kicks. So I'm just taking some peeks at Bragg. They don't play again until November 1st, so they've got some time after this to rest and recoup and get their acts together. And then on the Suffolk side, they don't even start their semifinals until Thursday, the 30th. So Suffolk a little bit behind schedule. Shoreham-Wading River has moved on there. They're going to be up against the winner of Islip and Miller Place. And then you got Kings Park and Rocky Point and Elwood and Amityville playing tomorrow. And then they won't play their semis until the 30th. So they're still in quarters.
She took one high. Play resumes. Nice cut back. A little bit of a heavy touch, though. That looked like it was going to set up for a good scoring chance, but
that ball is knocked out for Lawrence corner.
Heavy touch, but we'll have a corner for Lawrence.
Yeah, Dashi went down, and everybody kind of took a pause, but Lawrence didn't, and they continued play. Got to play the whistle.
Ortega bounces one near post. Sent out to midfield. Aravalo settles it nicely. Comes back this way to Ortega, the junior.
Lawrence to throw.
Good to see Dashi back up, and nice clearance for him. As it will be Ortega.
Ortega on the ball.
To throw the ball in. Plays to feet. Look at this turn in the box. Still loose. Oh, and Poca Sangre just flings his arms out. That was as close as he's gotten to some free space in the box.
And you see a lot of conversation back there between Kroon and McCarron. Little lack of communication there, and that's not the kind of breakdown. They recognize it, and they're going to fix it.
His shot blocked by Kroon, stayed on the ball. This one flicked on by Ortega into the box. Ooh, shouts of handball, not given. Firing it from the edge of the 18, goes over the net. Well, there is no VAR in Nassau County. We have the ability to see a replay. I'm not sure if we can see if that was a handball or not. As McCarron is set to put the ball back into play. Launches it towards midfield. Here it is, bottom of your screen. Well, that was just the ball that was sent out toward midfield. Marrero again, disruptive, up the sideline. It goes over, though, that far sideline. Let's see if this is it here. You can see where the shouts were, but I don't think there was a handball there.
Lots of referees in the stands. But Lawrence doing their best version of what Floral Park has been getting done. Some chaos down in the box, trying to force Floral Park to a mistake or a miscommunication.
A dangerous one bounces, and there is McCarron as that last offender.
They are getting in there now. They are working really hard.
Another throw. Flicked on again. Rinse and repeat. This one headed towards goal, and no problem there for Sarcona. Quick outlet. Here comes Donovan. Little 1-2 with Kroon. Nice aggressive challenge by Amirati. Sends it across the box. Turn, shot, save Rosales.
Nice job there. And that ball by Amirati was great. It might have been thinking Donovan at first, but it went through.
Yeah, that was O'Shea with the shot. Here's Kroon. Had time there. Does win the ball back. Pushes it forward. Aravalo back to midfield. Another foot race for it. There is O'Shea. Nice turn by O'Shea. Sends it across, and Donovan wasn't able to get there in time. And the offside flag was raised on Lawrence.
Yeah, that cross was nice, but kind of in between Amirati and Donovan. A little bit more depth on there, though, and Donovan might have had a nice second effort as you get a look at it here. So it kind of just floats in the middle of nowhere, but a little bit deeper. Donovan's got something.
McCarron drives it in that direction. There's Cherry who settles. Here's Kroon, beats his man by a step. Behind Cherry, in front, O'Shea! Just over the bar.
Well, that was some open space there. Cherry had the first look. O'Shea the second. First a little whiff and then a shot over the top. You take a look here. There's that. That's hard to do, to get that kind of angle up and over. But O'Shea with a good look there, just couldn't convert.
Especially when you're turning in the box and you're right point blank range, it's hard to get your hips straight enough to hit it low. Now look at O'Shea tracking back. And that was all O'Shea, who forced Nelson Martinez to take a touch out of bounds. That's that blue collar mentality, that effort.
Yeah, it certainly is. And the AR right there, you know, they tried playing that ball quick. Like, it stayed on, but good job there.
McCarron sends it forward. All just played high in the air. Ortega heads it. Pocasangre. And again, it's the effort. And if you're Rodney, honestly, you take that foul. That's fine. Because again, it's that effort and the intensity that your boys are showing.
And decent field position. Take it up there for sure. You don't want that lower, closer to the box.
Andrew Rosales serves it high in the air. A couple of guys looking for it. Molina was one of them. Well, clipped in, and again, last man there was McCarron. Sends it out of harm.
Start it with a throw.
Substitution for Lawrence. Andrew Rosales trying to get some free real estate. Pushed back, though. Ooh, clever flick. Lawrence looking for a foul there, none given. Kroon wins the header, finds Cherry. Cherry pushes it forward, looking for O'Shea. O'Shea battles there with Luna. Luna wins that one. Clips that ball forward. Look at McCarron again. Just a warrior back there. Amarate hammered from behind. And we're letting them play.
You know, it's the perfect timing there. I was going to say to you, Dylan, that, you know, I said it to you at the half. The least amount that the officials have had to do in this game as far as physicality goes, the kids kind of policing themselves out there.
Black to Kroon. And Kroon just sends it into space. When you play balls like that, you know it, Rob. It allows you to push your numbers forward, and maybe you win something on the counter press. Like Kroon did just there. And now you have your safety valve in McCarron, who will track it down and send it out.
Oh, there he is, the lone goal scorer right now, clearing that ball out and playing a stellar defensive job so far. He's done a lot of work back there, communicating.
You know these guys well, this Floral Park team, so I do wonder if you have an opportunity to speak perhaps after the game. I wonder if Sam Amirati thinks that one was going in.
Well, I think he'll say that no matter what, but it certainly looked like it was. So, without a doubt, Amirati had that great look on the corner kick, and then just having it finished by McCarron. Really good work. And now we're going to pick up play. It'll be a throw-in for Floral. And referee Paddock's getting things going. Clock is stopped right now as they get things done. Little water break as well. But with the stoppage, there'll be a substitution. And they're all setting up on the field here. So we've said it repeatedly, just absolutely a gorgeous day for a playoff game. And both of these teams have come to play. It's been physical, but they've all been getting some nice touches back and forth as Lawrence starts to get more offensive opportunities. And they're going to have one now with a throw in deep.
And we restart. Ball in front in the box. Dangerous opportunity, and again, cleared well by Floral Park. Amirati turns, just plays into space again. Foot raise. Look at Rosales, well off his line. This is a dangerous one, bouncing back towards his goal. And settled and cleared there.
Wow. if that thing had any more spin on it, that's going to go in the net. And it was Caden Singh getting down and dirty in there. Kyle played on the team last year.
And when O'Shea came back, Singh was the guy who was out of the 11, but did see a lot of time in the starting 11 and certainly showing his ability to get additional minutes off the bench here. Kroon pushes it forward, looking for Amirati.
Yeah, it was that high pressure that got that ball.
Rosales, ooh. Nervy moments. Oh, and Didn't quite get what he wanted. Black steps up. Frenetic right now between these two teams. The ball bounces towards this sideline to Luna. Luna and Black, excuse me, Ortega and Black do battle. And there's the ball sent forward.
Rosales, that was a nervy move, bending over to pick it up instead of just pouncing it, and worked out for him as Lawrence now got the ball back up the field.
And McCarron heads it out. Ortega to throw. Looking for options. Doesn't beat the first man, tries to win it back. Battles for it there with Liam Quinn, who is so active in that first half. And the ball will go out for another Lawrence throw.
Ortega with the ball.
Quinn clearance just goes out to the midfield. Chip back in, looking for Pocasangre. Kroon. But Lawrence continues. Rosales. Kroon is everywhere. Just a wrecking ball.
And that's part of the puzzle that Lawrence is trying to figure out. But Lawrence is getting in deep. You wouldn't guess that there was 20 minutes left. They are playing with an urgency that would even be within 10. And that's a testament to how this team functions, how they run, and the leadership on their team.
So, Rob, you see on the other side there, you see behind the bench there, those backpacks, something that is new here for the postseason for Floral Park. It's backpacks supporting the St. Baldrick's charity, which the ball goes back to Rosales. It's a nationwide nonprofit to support to finding a cure for pediatric cancer. A number of the players of the squad have shaved their head for this cause. And they'll have 4 boys with them on the sideline and on the bench as well. So that's, again, it's a community tie-in and a great team builder and a great job by them to, as a team, donate to such a terrific cause.
That is amazing, and you can see the 4 young fellas down there. And I can tell you that's a cause that Floral Park, in general, as a town, does a lot of work with. I see it all the time over by Sewanaka, and good job by Floral Park and the team.
I would ask if you would be part of that, but...
Believe it or not, I did a massive beard St. Baldrick's once.
All right.
A lot of teachers grew out their beards, and we had a shave on stage. Trim's Barbershop in Freeport donated their time and raised $1,500.
Did you get the hot towel at the end of it?
No, they were rushing us through, but they gave me some nice sideburns.
There you go.
Yeah, they figured they could mess around and get me done quicker.
But yeah, the young men that you're talking about, they're right in the front of the Floral Park bench. You can see them over there, and great to have them be part of a moment like this as well, right? There you see them.
Yeah. How cool wearing the pennies, too. They look like they're ready to get in the game.
Yeah, they're getting stretched out. Here we go.
I love it. I love that.
Coach Rodney, we're ready.
That's cool. Put them in the pennies, too. It's like, you're part of the team. You're not just here as a visitor. And good stuff out of Floral Park.
Absolutely.
Lawrence to throw. We are under 20 minutes remaining in this game.
So we're midway through this second half. The Charlie McCarron goal, the difference right now. And a chance perhaps now for more. Rosales slides out to intercept Sam Amirati.
He put a little too heavy of a touch on that last one as we get a look at it. The shot was here, right before that touch. Went a little deep. Rosales read it. And this time, no question about it. Met that ball. Good job.
Amirati turns on the ball, goes back to Kroon. Kroon surveys the situation, has got a wide open Liam Quinn in the box. Quinn, great first touch. Quinn saved by Rosales.
I love it, man. The mighty Quinn getting open, and you can see right here, lots of space. Makes that initial move. Tough angle. Rosales with the kick save, but tip your hat to Quinn finding space, and Lawrence is going to have to pay attention to him.
And now they got to worry about another corner. Amirati, first half, I think he would have gotten it in. I initially called an Olympico, which is a goal scored directly off a corner, but it was McCarron who got a piece of it at the back post. Here's Amirati again to serve. Serves it low near post. Flicked on. And Marrero wins it back. Unbelievable.
Oh boy, and that one's going to get queued up for sure. We'll take a look here, and let's see where that went.
Yeah, right there you can see the leg challenge, and our first booking goes to Nelson Martinez. Now here's a question for you. It's going to be Amirati. I think he can go upper corner.
Yeah.
Right?
I was going to answer it before you asked the question. Absolutely. This is the spot, right? 1-0, 17 and a half remaining in the game. Go for it. Send everybody in. Try to go for a rebound, but I love it. And how about Liam Quinn getting a big round of applause as he heads off the field. Great work out of Quinn.
See the three-man wall set up. This one from about 21 yards. And Rosales moving his wall. And actually we'll push that back. It'll be 19 yards. Or they're back to the 18, so about 28 yards here for Amirati. Amirati goes for that far post and doesn't miss by much.
Amirati shot is high. Goal kick, Lawrence.
Rosales quick to put it back into play. Lawrence chasing this game. Off the chest. Ortega pumps the brakes. Trying to get something going with Pocasangre. He's on the ball now. Pocasangre clips his service in. Diving clearance header. Ball still loose in the box. Can they get something going? No, says Kroon. And we'll have another booking now. I kind of thought that the Floral Park player, we'll see it again, Rob. I thought that the Floral Park player was the more aggressor here.
I'm going to agree with you. I mean, it's all about angles. He goes up. I mean, that's all Singh, and that's how he's been playing most of this game so far. Tough call against Lawrence in this situation.
So that's
Coach
Javier.
Legassi, sorry, just giving him a pat on the head, just going, okay, let's keep playing.
Yeah, that's Javier Chicas Linares. Picks up the yellow.
Tough. Even, the first one, too, was close. I think it was just an unfortunate timing type of thing where.
Well, I think in that one, too, Rob, the first one, I think when you, and I agree with you on that, but I think when you see a player kind of turn like that and like.
Yes. Marrero's leg went under him.
Yeah, that's.
I think unfortunate situation. This one, he didn't upend him. He didn't try to take out the legs. It was all Singh's momentum. But again, it's about field position where you are as an official. But 2 yellows now on Lawrence.
So here's McCarron, and again in the quarterfinal, they lose Jeremy Cruz to a second bookable offense. What would he have, what kind of difference would he have made in this one? That's all those ifs and buts that really don't mean anything. So Lawrence will play the cards they're dealt. They have done that all year.
The cards they're dealt indeed. Getting dealt 2 so far, and it's tough for a coach right now.
Arvalo throws it in. Kroon goes back the other way.
You have to trust that if you put those guys back out, it's going to have to be something egregious for them to get the double yellow and make the team shorthanded. But you got to get those guys back on the field.
And now a counter here for Floral Park. Kroon necessary tackle. And now it's Lawrence looking to push numbers. Some great defending on that far side. The winner will take on Friends in the Class A championship game. Ooh. Dangerous for a moment, it looked like, for Lawrence. McCarron. And that's the thing too, right? Where Lawrence, you know, they're a team that want to possess, they want to play touches, they want to get everybody involved, but when you need that goal, sometimes you've got to go more route one, but that plays right into Floral Park, right? And they're what makes them so good, which is winning those balls in the air.
Yeah, winning the balls in the air and being aggressive on the balls on the ground, trying to beat their opposition to the touch.
Here's Ortega off a couple of subs, and I think those guys who were booked back in now. Ortega pushed back more towards midfield. Trying to find Pocasangre. Don't really think he's had that clear-cut chance in this game that he would want. That's a dangerous one, but a good job by Sarcona to pick it up.
And that's a testament to what Floral Park does. You know, they're not really targeting in on anyone. They're playing their game, and it's a tough defensive wall, no space. Liam Quinn fan club is loud today.
Yeah, they've brought it, no doubt.
That's it. The mighty Quinn, there he is. Number 5 out there, hustling away.
Rosales sends it high in the air. Lally return to sender. Again, Floral Park this year in 17 games have only conceded 13 goals. I've never been a math person, but that's pretty good.
That's pretty good indeed. I'm not a math person either, but.
And a lot of those are like single goals. Like you go back in their season, they've conceded in their last 4 games, but it's a 3-1 win over Limbrook, a 1-1 draw against Wantagh, a 2-1 win in a non-conference at Holy Cross in Queens, a 2-1 win over Wheatley.
All those things in common, win, win, win. And one of those guys, we haven't said his name too much during the broadcast because he just does his job. That guy that just touched the ball, Declan Lally, 2-time starter on this team, 2 years, captain, one of the most important guys on the team last year, this year, and a big reason why that defense cranks the way it does as well.
In fact, that defense, as the ball go out for a goal kick, only 3 times this year, Rob, have they conceded 2 goals. A game we actually had early in the season against Mineola, where Mineola had a ferocious comeback that came just short. That was a 3-2. The next game at Valley Stream South, it was a 4-2 win. And then they tied South again, 2-2. Here's Ortega.
Which, again, we mentioned that South had that, you know, they lost to Locust Valley, but they could put up a fight. That team got, you know, a lot better this year, and it's going to come back pretty strong next year.
Oh, that was nice, playing the feet. Some of the Lawrence fans started to get up for a moment, but Garcia Lopez was unable to get that left boot on it as it was cleared.
Throw in for Lawrence.
How does Lawrence kind of unlock that door, right, and create that opportunity to maybe find that equalizer? They only have a little more than 10 minutes to do so.
Well, that's one way you do it, is that continue to create a little havoc. Again, the Floral Park style of scoring. Create some havoc in front of the net. They're just not getting the touches because the defenders are so quick on their assignments getting to the ball.
That was Singh pushing it forward. And here's Amarati playing to feet. Necessary clearance. Good job to keep it in from not allowing it to be a corner. And again, Singh with the pressure.
10 minutes remaining in this contest.
Playing to feet, and that is offside. Rosales comes off his line anyway.
Offsides is the call.
But O'Shea was behind the last defender.
He was, and that last defender had the call. Arm was up right away. And it is an offside, but what looked like a really good scoring chance. Good through ball. And there was space, just too early a jump.
You know, if it's not McCarron winning everything in the air, it's Kroon winning everything in the air, right? Certainly in different spots of the field. As here is Ortega.
And also, how about Caden Singh? I mean, Caden Singh's involved. He generated that yellow card. He just went in pretty hard there. He throws that body around.
And there's Lally that you mentioned, sending it out towards midfield.
Throw in for Lawrence.
Lally, whether it's on the basketball court or here on the soccer pitch, used to playing in these big moments, these high pressure moments.
Just a steady presence back there. You know, we talked about sometimes the way defenders play off one another, and I think we could all agree McCarron is a high energy, fling your body around kind of guy, and Lally, a guy that just sees the field, settles it down, distributes, clears.
Well, we said that in the last game, right? That yin and yang of having that big body defender who wins everything in the air, and then the other guy who is cool and calm and collected and plays with seeming ease. Here is Quinn, the fan favorite. Takes a step inside, curls it far side, trying to find Cherry. You like the idea, but it was just a little bit off.
Goal kick, Lawrence.
That's Floral Park just trying to choke this game out. Rosales to midfield.
I mean, if you look at him out there, how could he not be a fan favorite, right? He's out there just a sophomore doing his job. And I don't think he's getting the respect he deserves. You know, he's finding a lot of space. Other teams watching are going to pay attention to Quinn when he's in the game.
Here comes Ortega trying to push forward. And Sarcona off his line. Ball sent high in the air by Sarcona. He's really not had a lot to do, which again speaks volumes to the collective defending. Right, so often, right, when we talk about defending, we talk about like the back four, maybe the number 6, but we've seen it. That's been an entire 11 defensive work this afternoon.
They perform as one unit on the field. Oh, they are in sync constantly. It's one of the things we complimented last year, and it's carried on over. And like you said, for Sarcona, it's really just keep your eye on the ball, but otherwise it's probably not going to get through to you. Just make sure you know where it is.
It's that, and listen to what Charlie says.
That's
because he's directing traffic back there.
Charlie says, make it good and plenty.
Ball sent high in the air, and again, that's advantage Floral Park as Dashi gets his head on it. And the clearance as well. Ball chipped in, necessary clearance there. Molina looking for the ball. Shot from distance, second header, and I think that was, I thought for a moment he might have been offside. But Sarcona makes the save. As we are approaching 5 minutes remaining in regulation.
And it was Ortega getting that header, and that's what I feel like it's going to take, is some kind of deflection or flick, something that redirects the ball down there, if it even gets through.
And a lot of times the best way to do that is kind of off a set piece, a free kick. Maybe it bounces off a few defenders and off an attacking player, but they haven't had those opportunities.
No, they haven't. They haven't at all.
Look at Cherry, wide open back stick, and Rosales. He's unconventional, but he makes the save.
We're under 5 minutes of play in this contest.
Steps back, got me nervous.
Wait a minute, how the heck did Cherry get there? Are there two of them out there? He was at the back stick, races across the field, and he gets fouled. Look at this. Look at Cherry.
Oh my goodness.
Come on. How many other guys would just be like back there hanging out, getting their breath, right? And not Damian Cherry.
The only other guy I think could do that was his brother. Both of them just speedy.
And he uses that sideline as an extra defender and, again, forces Ortega to take a touch out of bounds. Substitution for Floral Park inside the final minutes. The clock stops. McCarron spins one going forward. And O'Shea.
Goal kick to Lawrence.
I just love that. I just love that they challenge everything. Right there too, like you would think, all right, you know, let me conserve my energy. I know this one's gonna go out, so I'm gonna step back and play against the ball. O'Shea's like, no, I'm racing towards this one, like he's doing now. And now Cherry looking to defend, spinning Ortega. A little bit too much on that one.
Good job by Ortega, though. Sorry, he spun around Cherry. He had, got himself in a good position to move the ball, but again, not much on it.
I was gonna say that's been one of those fun battles too, Ortega and Cherry, on this now on this near sideline. Oh, Rosales, look out. Offside flag, or a foul was called, actually. And Rosales quickly puts it back into play. Hangs up in the air a little bit. There is Kroon. By the way, the player that Kroon is battling, that's Pocasangre. That's your starting center forward. Look how far back in the field he is to try to get the ball.
Yeah, they've kept him relatively quiet, too. I mean, Floral Park's really tried to minimize his touches. And a big reason why he's number 13. Brady's a big boy.
There he is again, winning the header. Here is O'Shea. Still going, O'Shea. No stopping. O'Shea has earned a free kick. Shakes his head like, oh yeah. As the referee stops the clock, but look again, look at the work rate by David O'Shea.
Yeah, digging in there, no rest at all. Finally, he's going to get fouled. I mean, a few where he could have got called, and then the final one with the step in and the shove. And we've got, I think, a cramped injury right now. They're doing some stretching outs.
Well, as we have an opportunity here, we'll show you the upcoming schedule. Long Beach, Garden City. That is tomorrow night. And then Tuesday night, Southside, Calhoun. That is in the Class AA. Tuesday and Wednesday night for those two matches. And what a last 3 seasons it's been. You have to, I feel like sometimes to win a championship, there has to be some adversity before that, right? You have to deal with losing to learn how to win. And that's what Floral Park has done. You see in 2022 that loss in the 8 quarters, that 23, 12, 1-1. So their only loss was to Lawrence in the semifinals. And of course, last year they go on and win the state championship.
Yeah, and it was a gradual ascent, right? Quarters, semis. Instead of losing in the finals, they said, let's just go the whole way.
And for Lawrence, look at his turnaround under Legacy, right? 3-7-1. He takes over consecutive trips to the county finals. Unfortunately for them, losing in both in 2023. They fell in that one. That was to Mineola. That was the first time in program history they reached a county final, and then they repeated that last year, losing to Floral Park.
Something about the red uniforms they're not going to like. Mineola, a heck of a run that year.
Yeah.
Controversial loss up in the States.
And Legacy was like, look, I love what I got coming back next year. It's awesome. And I said, yeah, but listen, that's great, but you're going to play Floral Park again in the semifinals or the finals, so just be prepared for that. As again, that ball will go for a throw, but we're inside of 2 minutes now. If Corvin, Pocasangre, and Lawrence have some magic in their boots, now is the time to unleash that. And we'll have another stoppage of the clock with 1:39 left, and I think we'll have another booking here as well. And we do. The third booking of the day by Steve Padditz.
After the Lawrence foul and yellow card caution, there'll be a Floral Park restart.
Another look.
Oh, look who's in the middle of it. Singh going up for a ball and getting clipped a little bit. That's 2 times. Last 2. Singh's up in the air and
listen,
gets a yellow. Do it.
He might get a hat trick.
Just, I'll tell you this. If your Friends Academy, take notes. He goes up in the air, just back off.
Floral Park to throw.
Wow, he drew 2 yellow cards flying around.
2 of the 3.
It's incredible.
McCarron flings that towards his own bench. Rodney, he's like, "Hey, I'm not getting a handball on that."
There is 1 minute remaining.
Final minute now of regulation. Cherry's pointing the other way, and the official on this side says no. Pattis said no. It did take a deflection, and it will be Floral Park ball. So McCarron will take his time, sends it up the field. Cherry flicks it on. And now a long ball out of the back. Rosales played it. Here is Cherry. No nonsense from Cherry. Donovan racing towards that ball. Wins it, pushed down, and a foul was called. With 10 seconds left, and Padditz, he could have gone to the pocket, he could have pulled out a card. More wisely, let the time wind down, and Floral Park, the defending New York State champions, back in the final. And how about that from that Charlie McCarron it was. Love that from him. Picks up one of the Lawrence players, the dejected Lawrence players. He didn't even celebrate yet. He went to him, picked him up first, gave him a pat on the back for having a great game and a great season. And that just, again, speaks volumes of the character of a guy like Charlie McCarron.
It certainly does, and you see also joining in the celebration the youngsters that were on the sideline, so they get a chance to give some high fives and get all that stuff done. And then on the other side, some again, getting consolation as they line up to shake hands. But right now, Lawrence feeling it, but a heck of a game and a heck of a season. The 6th seed rises to a big place again.
And it's a second straight year that Lawrence leaving this field in tears, having suffered a defeat to Floral Park. A year ago, it was in the county final, and this year in the semifinals. So a tough way for Lawrence to end. The 6th seed end their season at 9-5-1. But if we know anything about Lawrence and their soccer program and their head coach, they will be back.
They certainly will, and they'll see each other in the summer again. So they'll be working hard and back at it again in Floral Park, going on to face Friends Academy.
Yeah, Floral Park now 14-1-3, back in the county final again, and they will take on, as you said, Friends Academy. Big reason why they're getting there. How about double deuce? First, Amirati plays it, and McCarran sneaks in back post. And that is the difference in this one. That's Floral Park, back-to-back trips to the county championship game. Well-deserved by Akil Rodney's Knights. For our executive producer, Ben Turchin, our technical director, Chris Sweeney, for Tony DeMasso and Kevin Catalanato, bringing you all those great moving images. For my broadcast partner, Rob Anderson, Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Farmingdale State College. We'll see you tomorrow night as we start with the Class AA semifinals right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.